Hello, beloved. Thanks for tuning in today. It's a really special day for many reasons. Um, One, it's the day I got married 31 years ago, the day I changed my name to take on his. And one of the most significant days in my life. Uh, and today, as it was in 1994, it's a beautiful, cloudless, blue sky, sunshiny day. And historically, over the last 31 years, it's been a beautiful day on November 19th. It was on the day we got married. And you never know what it's going to be like in Ohio. The weather's like crazy. And we had a beautiful, beautiful wedding. The fall colors were so pretty. His favorite color, navy blue, and my favorite color, pale pink. And it was a beautiful ceremony. We were surrounded by many friends and family. So many have gone on to be with the Lord now. And it was just a really, really fun day. We have a lot of funny memories from that day. There were little glitches along the way, but it was a great day. And I love to remember that day. And yes, I do get choked up still because it's sad to me that he's still not here, that he's not here to celebrate 31 years with me. We're coming up on the season where, or the time period, I guess, where he went to the hospital and to never return home again. And so it's a very odd time. Now, also partner with this time in between that November 19th, 1994, until our last anniversary where he was sick at home just before going to the hospital. We had many, many years. We had 26 years in there of growth and love in our mustard size faith in our love at the beginning in 1994 certainly grew much huger over those years together. And in that time frame, we brought our children home, and Sophie was our joy that came at our anniversary time. So yeah, and it's I've shared before, God is in the details, you guys. He knows you. That's why we're studying Psalm 139 right now. But he is in the details, every detail of our life. He knows our every thought. And it's really a wild thing to consider. But to him, we are his beloved. And he's ours. So I want to continue in our pilgrimage today through our beloved book by Nicole Green. I hope you've ordered yours off Amazon. You'll be so glad you did. Psalms 139, verse 2 from the Message translation. I'm an open book to you, even from a distance. You know what I'm thinking. Have you ever felt nervous when you realize you've said something you've said too much? Maybe you shared too much with someone new or told something personal that you weren't ready to talk about. We usually think carefully about what we say because words can show who we really are. But with the Lord, there's no such thing as saying too much. He already knows before you even speak it. That's right, every thought, feeling, prayer you've ever said out loud, he knows everything. It's frightening because there's no hiding place. There's no image we can pretend to keep up, but it's also comforting because I don't need to explain myself to God. I don't need to use the best words to make him understand. He already knows everything completely and perfectly. We are like open books to our Creator. The beautiful parts of our story that we're proud to show, as well as the painful parts we'd rather keep hidden, are all open before Him. And still, He loves us. Still, He draws near. This truth encourages us to be honest and real with God. We can stop pretending, stop using special words or practice prayers. We can be just knowing He already knows and still chooses to listen. And then in Hebrews, and there's no creature hidden from His sight, but all things are naked and open to the eyes of Him to whom we must give account. Hebrews 4:13. Do you ever find yourself trying to edit your prayers, thinking God will respond better to certain words? If God already knows your thoughts, how might that change the way you pray? Honesty invites God in. Are there things you've been hesitant to bring to Him? Why? How might your relationship with God grow if you lived like nothing was hidden from Him? Think about that for your own life. I remember just shortly after Bob died, I could barely get out prayers. I remember just pretty much all I could manage at that point was, oh God, oh God. Like I just couldn't even wrap my brain around it. I don't know where you are with your talking to the Lord, but doesn't it comfort you that He already knows everything? He already knows what you're thinking before you say it. And see, so in that time frame of when I could hardly utter words, I could only cry out to Him. That was okay. He knew my broken heart. And yeah, so I'd like for you to think about that for yourself today as you reflect on 139, Psalm 139, verse 2. And He's there. He's there for your every thought. That's why it's so fun. The joy of the Lord is my strength. And I can just imagine, as I am as a parent, it is such joy for me to think of really great gifts to give my kids. And I love the anticipation of it. I love seeing them when they get to experience it or open it. And that's how your Heavenly Father does for you. And since we're talking about Sophie's day that we got each other, she was the softest baby, just very soft. Everything about her was soft, and her name just fit her perfectly. And I said that from the get-go. And we had her all dressed up in pink, and she was just adorable and truly a joy. A joy to love her and get the blessing of being her parents. And it's so good that God was in that detail, because it would have been a sad day to remember Bob being gone on his birthday. And see, that's when we received Olivia. And it would be another sad memory, happy, yes, and sad, as we miss him on our anniversary, our wedding anniversary. But yet we have Sophie. And so it's like God can take your mind from this to that. And I wouldn't have had the joy of Sophie had I not had the love from Bob. Isn't that wild? So anyway, yes, it's a wonderful thing to consider. And since we're reminiscing about 31 years ago on our wedding day, the Valley View Spartans, which was our hometown football team, were playing they were kept winning in the beyond the season, and they were in the semifinals at our anniversary, and they ended up winning state that year, and it was such a big thing and so exciting. From a small town, Friday night lights are huge, and it was fun to experience that. We had just gotten home from our honeymoon, and I think it was probably the weekend after, I don't remember, and then we went to state championships. Well, 31 years later, I'm wearing my navy blue and my white and my high school ring, because Valley View is once again, I think they won region. I think they're now in the semifinals, but they're on their way to state. So I hope they go for it, and I hope they win it all again. So anyway, just a fun little thing. High school football was so fun. It's something I think that's still fun, and it was fun back in the 80s, and it was fun all throughout time. I have a fun picture of my grandpa Hershey in his football gear, all the way back from the 20s, which is really neat to see. I think it was the 20s, might be 30s. Don't quote me on the math this morning, but all the way back from his high school years. And it was like, his football pads was kind of like they just stuffed shirts in their shirt to like protect themselves when they got tackled. But I love that picture, and love hearing the stories of my dad playing football. And then I always think it's funny because in high school, I really didn't have my sights set on Bob, but I always thought he was a very nice guy. And I talked to one of my friends. See, back in that day, I don't know if they still do that today, but in my era, it was very popular for a girl to wear one of the guys' football jerseys on Friday. You just did that. And it didn't really matter. I mean, if you were, going together, then you would wear that one guy's jersey every week to the game. But even if you weren't going with someone, so to speak, romantically, then you just would ask a friend. You'd ask anybody as long as you were wearing a jersey. And it was very team spirit. Everybody wore navy blue and white on Fridays. And so anyway, I remembered one time talking my friend into asking Bob for his jersey. I wasn't, because I had my heart on this other guy at the time, but I did think that Bob was very cute. And anyway, so she did. She asked him to wear his jersey, and she wore it on to one of the games. So I just always have loved to share that story. So he was a great number 74, and would be so excited for Valley View for this year, So there you have it, beloved. Start really thinking, and let me read you real quick the creative response. So set aside 10 minutes with a blank journal, page, or piece of paper. For this exercise, write a completely unedited, unfiltered prayer to God. Don't pause to correct spelling, improve phrasing, or make your thoughts more spiritual. Just let your words flow, knowing God already knows them. This practice of unedited prayer can help break down the walls we sometimes build between ourselves and God. And I try to write mine almost every day. Sometimes not every, but I try that. So, and also I want to encourage you to listen to the song by Don Moen. Look it up. It's an older song. He Knows My Name. And it's just about this. He knows my very thoughts. So Don Moen, He Knows My Name. And just really listen to that, and take the time to do the creative response to today's talk. All right. Until next time, that's my gift for you today.